Picture yourself at home. It's a rainy night and you can hear the water droplets hitting the window in your room. You have nowhere to be, so you bundle up in your blanket with a hot beverage to keep you company. The time slowly ticks by and you feel relaxed, at peace. You know it's not gonna last forever. In fact, chances are you won't be able to enjoy the quietness for more than a couple of hours before having to get up or falling asleep. But that fact doesn't bother you. You are too absorbed in the moment to care. That situation is, in my opinion, a perfect analogy to explain how it feels to play a short hike. It is a cozy, heartwarming, and extremely charming experience that instantly makes you forget the world around you. Not for long, mind you, for a short hike is as fleeting as it is good, but if you're anything like me, you won't even think about that fact. You'll just enjoy the great experience while it lasts. A short hike is a game all about exploring and adventuring to your heart's content. So much so, in fact, that there is barely any overarching story to quote-unquote get in the way of that. You, an anthropomorphic bird named Claire, currently on holiday, start the game by getting out of your aunt's house and talking to her. Turns out there is no phone reception in Hawk Peak Provincial Park, except for one spot. The very top of Hawk Peak Mountain. As I'm sure most of us can understand, being disconnected is simply unacceptable, especially as she is waiting for an important call. And thus the decision's made. Claire is going hiking. You will quickly find, however, that doing so is not an easy task. At least not at first. Your moveset starts off very simple. You can jump, and by holding down the same button in the air, you can glide. Hot air currents carry you upwards, and releasing the movement button when gliding makes you dive. Moving mid-dive makes you glide super fast. It's fun. That aside, you can also use objects you're holding, such as a stick, to beat things. Despite it all being very functional and responsive, none of your beginning abilities are enough to complete the hike. So what do? Well, you get more. One of the many ways the game incentivizes you to explore is by hiding new abilities all over the world. Found a pickaxe? Well, you can use that to break rocks in caves, unlocking a primitive fast travel system. Got a shovel? Guess it's off to digging up treasure then. But perhaps the most important upgrades you can find are golden feathers. They work as a stamina system of sorts. A bunch of unlockable abilities require them, like flapping your wings and running. Thankfully, it is a very lenient stamina system. Land on the ground or stop moving, and it goes back to full in no time. In total, there are 20 golden feathers to find and 2 silver feathers, which make it so you climb and run faster. The world also has a lot of other assorted collectibles that are not directly tied to abilities, such as shells and coins. But those are a far cry from being the only things you can find while exploring. The island is full of interesting sights to see, secrets to find, and activities to participate in. In fact, there is so much to find that it felt daunting until I got a grip on the layout of the island, as the game lacks a map. The world also has quite a few interesting characters to find with a light-hearted humor to their dialogue that often had me giggling. You might find yourself helping a painter find inspiration or even creating a sand empire with a kid. Be careful though, the game has no way to track quests, and while it wasn't an issue for me as the map isn't huge and there aren't many missions per se, I'm sure it'll be an issue for some. Help enough people and some of them might just give you rewards. In fact, offering assistance and engaging in these wacky activities is how you get a lot of golden feathers. I'm sure there is a lesson to be learned here somewhere. Help others and you might be able to fly one day, perhaps? Unfortunately though, aside from the lack of map and way to track quests, there are a couple more issues that I would be remiss not to mention. The camera is usually at a semi-fixed angle. You can slightly move the camera, but you cannot change the angle. Due to that, as usually happens in games with this behavior, sometimes you end up fighting the camera. It can, for example, do a 180 in midair, potentially causing you to fumble your gliding. Furthermore, you can find other smaller islands around the main one by swimming, But thanks to how the camera works, you can actually not see where you're swimming until you get close to a new island, and the angle is adjusted. Don't get me wrong though, these are absolutely only minor issues. So, remember how in the beginning I said this is an extremely cozy experience? By now you might be able to see why the exploration is a huge component of that feeling. There is an indescribable calmness to just aimlessly walking around, discovering new things and cute characters full of personality in a sunny and chill island. But that being said, it is not the only component that contributes to the overall cozy feeling. Oh no. This experience is tightly bound together with two very important threads that, together with the exploration, make up a whole package of warm feelings. The soundtrack and the visuals. The former varies quite a bit, sometimes depending on where you are on the map. At times you will only hear ambient noise, birds chirping, rain falling, the wind blowing past you as you glide, just nature in general. And then in other moments you'll hear upbeat songs that will make you feel simple and pure joy. The soundtrack complements and is complemented by the art style perfectly. The pixelated, sometimes rough visuals work really well for me, and I find them adorable, cozy, and extremely cute. But they won't be pretty to everyone. Really, nothing is in life. Luckily, you can judge for yourself by what you've been seeing here so far. Not even the performance could detract from the experience, mainly because I didn't run into any issues on that front. It isn't a game that needs much in terms of hardware. Did not run into any major, or even minor as far as I can remember, glitches either. It was a smooth experience throughout, save for the small annoyances that I listed, which absolutely contributes to being able to just lose yourself in the game. All in all, a short hike lives up to its name. You hike and it's quite short. I got all achievements after 3 hours and a half. But it is a cheap game in case you judge value by the playtime you get out of the amount spent. And it really doesn't need to be longer. Like I said, if you're anything like me, you will not even notice how short it is. You will just start up the game one afternoon, instantly get drawn in, and enjoy the experience for as long as it lasts. It might be a game that lasts 1 to 3 hours, but it left me with fond memories that will stick with me for a lot longer. That's really all I can ask of it. If you do pick up the game, I hope you enjoy it. And now, for the fun YouTube stuff. If you liked this video, if it was useful to you, please do leave a like down below and subscribe too if you can. Both actions really help me out a lot. But above all else, leave a comment, as I love hearing from all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one. Bye bye!